Good morning, YouTube. Hey, Sam. Yep, everything went well today. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Just got back just a short time ago, um, back in time to take a huge profit on UNH that I had on for a while. Big gap up on that this morning. Other than that, we're just holding on to our positions. VSAT that we have is looking pretty good today. It's getting up above the resistance level at 33.85. It's trading at 33.95 right now. ABVV that we put on yesterday, I pulled back this morning, but it's starting to bounce now. Pretty good market this morning. Market up a little over 0.5% on the SPY, approaching the all-time high, 672.99, I think. Need to write it down. 672.99. Yep, all-time high. SPY 20 cents away from the all-time high, kind of just churning a little sideways here. Market internals drifting up. Oh, 12 o'clock. All right, so you got a little questions here. What do I think about Alexandra? What do I think about CRDO? It's bouncing off the 200 day moving average. Strong volume. CRDO. Yeah, it is bouncing off. It's bouncing off the 50-day moving average, right here. This is the 50-day moving average that it's bouncing off of. Decent volume. Yeah, this is above average. It's going to be well above average, but it had big volume yesterday coming down. You got to get through this 8 and this 15. I mean, to take something here before it confirms that it's going to break through the 15 and the 8 here and the 15 right here, is this could just as easily turn around back and retest the 50 again. So that's my feeling on that. I wouldn't touch it until it gets above the 8 and 15 and confirms up there. Cat options can fit one of the heavy tools from the option spread. Yeah, nice move in Caterpillar today though, right now. SPY backing off just a bit. What do I think about NTLA and CRISPR? Yeah, I looked at both of those this morning, Ram Kumar. NTLA is, I'm a little concerned about this, how far it's moved up today. 25%. That's a long way to go. It's a long way to go. It has broken above an algo line, but it's extended right now for the 8. Let me see, the 8's at $20.50. Stock's at $25.59, so it's $5 above the 8, and it has an ATR of 170. Way too extended for me for a swing trade on it. I mean, here's the chart on it. See a nice move here today, nice volume, but is it going to continue? It could continue, but they typically don't stay this far extended for very long. So I'd be concerned about that. CRISPR, right here. You see, CRISPR's got some resistance up here. This yellow line that shouldn't be there now. That's designed, but that's the void. But this one isn't. The 79.28. That's your resistance on CRISPR. And CRISPR, let's take a look at CRISPR. All right, the price here is above $78, and the 8 is about $70. All right, so it's about $8 extended from the 8, and your ATR is 422. So it's almost two full ATRs. Both of those are too extended for me to try to take as a swing trade. I'd be waiting for them to pull back. FIG has closed the earnings gap. Looks interesting for a long. Well, this thing hasn't been around very long. This FIG. And it's bouncing on cryptos, and this is not much history on this thing. Could it keep going from here? Yeah, I mean it could. We get nothing to base any of this on though. I can draw an algo line on this thing, but it's a steep algo line coming down like this, right to there. And I'd have to look for these are high volume lines here, because I don't have enough history here to judge what my volume is over the last 50 days average. So I'd have to say that's the resistance there. All of these are most likely resistance levels. And down in here, these are not big enough volumes probably. So it's very hard for me to make a judgment on a stock like this. It just doesn't have enough history. I mean, you could probably intraday trade this thing, I think, right here. This is a pretty nice setup for an intraday trade on FIG, if they have options. AQST continues up, Barry, about 20 cents before the annual high. AQST. Yeah, it's another one that we've been talking about for a good long time. Another biotech, up 4.5% today. It's been going up and pulling back. Again, it's got a little bit further to go to break out. Okay. Got some questions here in the YouTube room. GLW continues to be an absolute beauty. Yeah, GLW I think we've traded this 3 times so far. It just continues to grind up every single day. I mean, it's had pullbacks, but still a nice setup on GLW. Continues. It has earnings on the 28th, so we're getting a couple weeks, 3 weeks away. Took a position in Amazon. I just looked at Amazon just a little bit ago, and it does look like it's finding a bottom and bouncing up here. You get this 50-day right here to worry about, and then you get this horizontal resistance level at 228. But it looks good, and probably for an intraday trade, it's probably even better just to take it off today, because it's going to get close to that 50-day moving average. Beautiful move up here this morning, though. Just holding that 8 exponential moving average perfectly. You took a longer expiration, November expiration. Then you're going to have to be. It has earnings on 10/30 because it might hit resistance there. It also seems like you don't want to hold it over earnings. And you should have considered earnings, Sam. If something else you should have considered is the earnings on it. The earnings are on 10/30. If you got November expirations, you're going to have to get out before the 30th of October. Unless you want to hold the options over earnings, and I sure wouldn't do that. I mean, earnings are those are news events. The technicals don't mean anything after when earnings comes out. So it's a crapshoot at that point. I mean, it's going to be a binary trade if you hold it over earnings. It's either going to go up or it's not going to go up. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. So always know when your earnings is. That's one of the most important things. You don't want to be holding options over earnings or even stock over earnings unless you're in it for a good long time. All right. See where we are here. SPY's kind of flat now. Again, I took SPY Super System trade. I'm out of it. American Airlines trying to pop here a little bit. ABBV pulled back this morning, trying to bounce here now. Back up above the pivot point, above the VWAP, right to the pivot point. VSAT has had a good morning. It's pulling back a little bit right now, but still holding that 33.85. Okay, gonna get around, look for some stocks. Be right back. Hey Ryan, QURE is looking good. Yeah, I looked at it yesterday, and I considered taking a position in it, but it's a little. I'm waiting for a breakout of this thing. It's got this level up here that's a bit of a problem. Right there, around $63, $64. So I'm waiting kind of for a breakout. Now you see it's a big bull flag. See the volume, and now the volume drying up, with the stock just kind of chopping along, and it's waiting for the 8 to catch up with it, which it did here. So anywhere in here is probably a good trade. You could actually probably take it right now and use that 8 exponential moving average as your stop on it. But this is a pretty volatile stock. You know, that 8 exponential moving average on that stock is at 54.15. All right, that's $7 below where it is right now. So you've got to be willing to take some to take some heat on something like this because it moves around so much. Just so be aware of that. You know, take a position size that you could be comfortable with to on a $7 pullback. Yes, Sam, that's probably a good idea to just to shoot for the 50 on Amazon. You got November expiration, so it's not going to hurt you. You pay more for it, but it also has the earnings. It also has the earnings premium built into it, so it's also not going to deteriorate as fast if the stock starts to pull back. It's fine. Still moving, trying to move up here again. Still hasn't get to the all-time high, but it's getting very close. It's 16 cents away. Whoops. Had my mic off. Sorry about that. Had some questions. Which ones did I not answer? Ram Kamara with 68 price at 8 ATR. It's only a 1.25 EMAs extended. On Fig you're talking about? Yeah, and the history of this is just, stocks that have, I can't even put in a 50-day moving average on the earnings yet. I mean on the volume yet. But I mean this looks pretty good. It still looks like a decent intraday trade to me. New higher day in Fig now. Yep. Yeah, it looks. I mean, it looks like a really good intraday trade. I haven't looked at the options on it, but I mean, it looks like a really good intraday trade. It's following the 8 up pretty nicely here, and it's got blue candles. Here's the market momentum. Market internal starting to roll over a little bit right here now. You can see that the SPY's drifting up. Market internals are kind of starting to drift down, but Fig looks good. Daily chart right here. Pretty nice move up. This is likely the next resistance level. That's a long way up. Whether it'll get there or not, who knows? Again, I don't have a lot of history to be able to draw too many lines on that thing. Shy, everything feels like it's a little bit too high. Yeah, things are getting extended a little bit. I'm looking for some ones with some PBOs on the 5-minute chart, but right now the market's just kind of grinding higher. But we're getting little pullbacks here and there. I'm really not taking anything right now. Ram, come out for stocks that are super bullish. What would be the stop to exit on a day trade? On the 8 on the exponential moving average on the 5-minute, yeah. If that's where you get in, I mean, it's got to be dependent on where you get in. You know, I mean, if you're getting into something like a Fig, all right, on a 5-minute chart, you want to get in. You don't want to get in up here. You want to get in down here. You don't want to chase it up here. If you get in up here, what are you going to do? You're going to have to wait. And if it goes back to your support level, you're going to be down a lot of money. Just be patient. Wait for it to see if it pulls back toward the 8 and then bounces. That's where you take it. You don't want to chase it up here. I mean, you can do that, but the thing is, you're going to be in a little bit of deep crap if it starts to pull back to the support level, and that's not going to feel too good. That's why you buy a support and sell at resistance. I mean, that's one of the criteria we've got: buy a support, sell at resistance, and look for stocks with relative strength here. So I should put that on there: buy a support and sell at resistance in here, as a matter of fact, because it's important as well. Should have had that in there all along anyway. Buy at support, sell at resistance. Buy near support, sell near resistance. All right. So here's the SPY, flattening out just a bit here. There's Fig again. I would not chase it. American Airlines just kind of drifting around. Macy's down a little bit today, 1774. Needs to bounce up by Friday. Tesla doing okay today. Still helping our put credit spread. And VSAT, I think, yeah, it's still trading right around the support level right now. Just a nice move up and now flattened. LRCX, Ram Kumar. Yeah, it pulled back to the 8 this morning. It's still pretty close to the 8 here. Needs to close above the 8 to be long. And you said D-Dog and MU are overextended. Yeah, I wouldn't say MU is overextended. It's really not overextended at all. 195 with an 8 at 183, $12. I don't think that's overextended. Man, 1.5. It's not even 1.5. ATRs away, maybe 1.25 or something on MU. Yeah, 1.3 ATRs extended on MU, so that's not overly extended. D-Dog definitely is overextended. Definitely overextended. We looked at this one earlier. Probably likely to come back to that 160, 119. Where would I stop be on FIG? If you went to FIG at the 5-minute 8 EMA and exit on a loss of the momentum for profit, where would your stop be if it goes against you right away? No, your stop is going to be below the 8 EMA on the 5-minute, right? If you're trading FIG on a 5-minute chart, if you're trading FIG, and you get in somewhere around the 8 exponential moving average, you're not obviously, but if you get in here, this becomes your stop. If it closes below there, you get out, and then what you do is you got to take profits on something like this when the momentum fades, like right now. If you're in FIG here, this is where you'd be getting out right now as it starts to fade, because you don't want to wait for it to come all the way back to the 8. You'll still be up money, but you're giving up a lot of profit on this. And if it's a day trade, you're not going to try to hold in it overnight, so you take the profits. But you don't want to be getting in here, obviously. You want to be getting in here or here, somewhere on the 8, near the 8 when it pulls back and bounces. Like a break above the 8 right here, this would have been beautiful. Anywhere in there, and then you would have got out right here on this candle as it comes back toward the 8. It depends. You could have stayed in here if you wanted to. It depends on how much money you were up when it got up here. It's very subjective taking profits on stocks. Very subjective. Hey Ryan, not buying a stock when it's too far from the 8 EMA is such a simple, effective principle. Yeah. So people don't listen. People ignore everything. You know, you're in here and you've obviously been trading and you understand some pretty good technical analysis. But you have to understand what your average retail trader is out there. Your average retail trader is trading off of Wall Street bets, or they're reading social media, or they're coming up with MACD crossovers, and they just don't understand how important some of these levels are. And it's the levels that the institutions are using. So most retail traders have no idea what they're doing. I mean, I hate to say that, but they get in there, they think it's going to be easy to make money trading, so they get up an account, they put some money in there, and they think they're gonna have this thing figured out in a couple of weeks, and they don't understand basic things. The 8 exponential moving average is a key level. I mean, I've been using this thing for years, and I introduce it to people, and they wonder what I'm talking about. You know, 8 and the 15, I use them in combination. They don't get it. A lot of them don't even know what the VWAP is for trading on a 5-minute chart. Listen, the universe of retail traders are, generally speaking, horrible, which is why we can make money from them, because they just don't get it. They just don't know. I mean, I talk to I may have a few hundred people, maybe I've talked to a few thousand to do mentoring and stuff like that. There's tens of millions of them out there. Is the SPY pulling back here now? So again, getting a little pullback on the SPY would be helpful to get a judgment on any stocks that we might be interested in taking long. Hey, welcome, Ramkumar. You're welcome. Masterclass after masterclass. I appreciate that. I'm just, I'm just trying to help retail traders become better traders by exposing them or showing them the things that I think are the things that work, the levels that work, the technical analysis that works. Nothing works all the time, but there is a lot of things that work most of the time. It's like VWAP is critical. This VWAP is a critical thing for a 5-minute chart. Extension from the 8 exponential moving average for an extended trade. It's critical because you see these stocks moving up fast and they look beautiful, and you get in them and they pull back. Well, of course they're going to pull back. And not only that, you're chasing them. So now where your stop is, it's so far away from where you get into the trade, you're down so much money that you end up bailing on the thing, especially if you get too much risk on it. Jarek, you just traded Wall Street bet sub count is almost 20 million. Yep. Yep. That's our bank. One of them. Wall Street bets thought they were going to be able to, their whole idea was they're going to crush the institutions and hedge funds and stuff. And, hedge funds love them. Institutions love them. It's just, it's really sad what happens to a lot of retail traders. And they just lose money without even understanding why. About 12, coming up on 12:30. Again, the only trade I've taken today so far was I took a SPY Super System trade back at 11 something, right in here. And just wrote it up for about $40 a contract. That's all right now. I'm just watching, looking for a market pullback a little bit would be nice. Again, 673.10. That's the new all-time high in the SPY. Put a new all-time high in, and now we're pulling back a little bit. Anybody still holding that WBD Warner Brothers but the unusual option activity for buyouts? There hasn't been any news on it um, for the last couple of weeks or so. The news blurbs came out that Paramount Skydance is talking to Apollo, a buyout firm, to join possible $60 billion Warner Brothers Discovery bid. That's sources coming out of the New York Post. WBD is jumping up all over jumping up and down like crazy based on that. Again, I'm still holding those October 17th WBD $20 calls. But here it is now for that news. Take lunch in about 15 minutes. Would like a VWAP test here, Shai? Yeah, on the spot. Yeah, we'll see. We do need a pullback on to make it a little bit easier certainly the intraday trade. Cat staying glued to the high of the day. Caterpillar, yeah, looks nice. All right, you still got a bunch of January calls in WBD. Yeah, I'd hang on to them. I would for sure. They've kind of been they popped into the news for a while and just kind of disappeared all of a sudden. Obviously, there's still stuff going on. Come on, let's go outside. Come on, let's go pee. Come on. All right, just had to step away for a minute. Just came back. Not doing anything here. The market's just chopping sideways. I'd kind of like to see a SPY pull back a little bit, but I don't know if it will or not, or how much it'll pull back. But right now, I'm not touching anything. The VSAT up to about $34 right now. The high this morning on VSAT was, let's see, 34.26, 34.30, 34.30. So it's at 34.04 right now in VSAT. Just like to see this thing keep pushing. Daily chart looks really good right now. ABBV is bouncing back right now off of a pullback to the 8. It's still down $1.55, but off the low by about, low is 229.68. It's up about $1.50 from the low. All right, let's see if you got any questions. So far, pretty good, pretty quiet. Again, I'm going to take lunch here in just a couple minutes. About 5 minutes, I'll take lunch. And I'll shut the YouTube feed down at that point in time. I appreciate all the folks from YouTube in here today. Thank you very much. Some good nice questions and comments over there as well, so I appreciate that. No, the nice breeze. Gonna be a northeaster.
And then as we get into the nor'easter, which is really Friday coming north, we could see this huge core of 40 to 60 mile per hour winds. So that's tropical storm force, okay? And once again, it won't take long to froth up the ocean and beat on Rodanthe and Buxton once again.
All right, this is Friday through Monday, and it is going to work its way from Charleston and skirt up. Outer Banks going to get smashed yet again with big rain and wind. The Delmarva and maybe even up towards the tri-state area of the Northeast. So, of course, still watching the overall dynamics of all this. But you've got rain projected from the southeast coast all the way up to the Cape, as you can see here. And that means some of us will definitely be looking at
You know, Pam Bondi, she testified yesterday. This is the guy to Political Wire. Rick Wilson writes, Attorney General Pam Bondi's testimony before a Senate committee to a fake orgasm, loud, theatrical, sweaty, and meant to trick just one man into keeping her around by flattering his ego. There's a northeaster coming.
Huh?
We're gonna get a northeaster.
Really?
Yeah, from around the coast. We're just going to get some rain and some wind. North Carolina's going to get 60 mile an hour winds. Heavy rain is going all the way up to New England.
Oh my.
If it was wintertime, it'd be a blizzard.
Yeah. Cold.
Ugh.
Chill.
You're cold?
Yeah. Chill.
Put on a sweater.
Right, go outside.
Where'd Ruth go? Where'd Ruth go? All right. Let's just check before I have lunch. Everybody's got any questions? Nope. So far, again, the market's just not doing much right now. It's had a nice little move up today. We put in a new all-time high. Now we're just kind of drifting sideways. So what we have to do now is wait. We just wait for the market to decide if it's going to do. Even waiting for identify some high probability trades for perhaps intraday trades today. But right now, there's really nothing to do. You got to get some market there. Hey Sam, got to run to school and pick up a sick kiddo. Sorry about that. All right, you have a great one. I'm going to shut down the YouTube feed anyway. I'm going to get some lunch. So listen, thanks everybody for being here today. I appreciate everybody's patience. I was out this morning to take my wife for a procedure, and everything's fine, and back to trading. So listen, thanks YouTube. We'll see you guys here tomorrow at 11:30. And again, don't forget to take a look at rightlinetrading.com if you're interested in joining my room and the alert service, and also for getting the software, the SPY Super System software. All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good afternoon.